What did you expect? Welcome, Sonny. Make yourself at home. Marry my daughter.
Blazing Saddles wasn't just a movie. It was a full-blown cultural explosion. Released in 1974, this outrageous Western comedy shattered boundaries, rewrote the rules of satire, and offended just about everyone in the most brilliant way possible. But behind all the laughs, outrageous scenes, and unforgettable lines are secrets even die-hard fans missed. From bizarre casting choices and on-set chaos to the jaw-dropping original ending that never made it to theaters, these 25 weird facts will completely change the way you see this Mel Brooks masterpiece. Buckle up, because the truth is stranger and funnier than fiction. Number 25. A casting crisis and an unexpected hero. The character of the Waco Kid in Blazing Saddles almost didn't make it to the screen the way we know and love. Originally, the role went to Oscar winner Gig Young, but disaster struck on day one. He collapsed on set, suffering from serious alcohol withdrawal. With the production in a panic, director Mel Brooks had to act fast. In a bold move, he phoned Gene Wilder, who agreed to step in without even reading the script. Wilder's performance became legendary. He brought a quiet, quirky charm and dry humor that balanced the film's wild energy. His version of the Waco Kid wasn't just funny, it was unexpectedly thoughtful and deeply relatable. Against all odds, a casting emergency gave birth to one of comedy's most iconic duos, and Wilder's calm, clever presence helped anchor the madness of the movie. It's one of those rare Hollywood moments where everything nearly fell apart, but ended up perfectly falling into place. Another weird fact is the way it started with panic and ended in a wild success. Let's delve into the details. Number 24. From studio panic to box office glory. When Warner Brothers first watched Blazing Saddles, the top executives were stunned, and not in a good way. They were shocked by how bold, outrageous, and politically incorrect the film was. In fact, they came close to canceling it altogether. But Mel Brooks, the fearless director, wasn't ready to give up. He pushed for a test screening with a live audience. What happened next changed everything. The crowd roared with laughter, especially during the now famous Campfire Scene, and the room echoed with applause. The overwhelming response forced the studio to rethink its decision. Reluctantly, they released the film. What followed was nothing short of cinematic magic. Blazing Saddles shattered expectations, becoming a huge box office success and a comedy classic. What was once seen as a dangerous gamble turned into one of Warner Brothers' most unexpected triumphs, proving that sometimes taking bold risks can lead to legendary rewards. Let's dive into another weird fact. It is about a figure that is the hidden power behind the laughter. Number 23. Richard Pryor. Behind the wild comedy of Blazing Saddles was the genius of Richard Pryor, one of the boldest voices in American humor. As a co-writer of the film, Pryor injected the script with sharp wit, fearless jabs at racism, and a raw honesty that pushed boundaries. Director Mel Brooks originally wanted Pryor to star as the Black Sheriff, Bart, but the studio considered Pryor too risky. His edgy reputation made them nervous. So, Cleavon Little got the part, bringing charm and fire to the role in a way that still honored Pryor's spirit. Even though Pryor wasn't on screen, his fingerprints were everywhere. His daring, unapologetic style shaped the movie's tone, making it as powerful as it was hilarious. His voice echoed through every bold punchline and every awkward truth the film exposed. Without Pryor's touch, Blazing Saddles wouldn't have had the same guts to challenge racism with such unrelenting humor. His influence was like a silent storm, unseen but impossible to ignore. Let's dig into the details of a weird scene that changed comedy forever. Number 22. The Campfire Scene. One of the most unexpected, yet unforgettable moments in movie history took place around a simple campfire. In Blazing Saddles, Mel Brooks boldly broke taboos with a scene where a group of cowboys, gathered for a meal of beans, let loose a chorus of loud, unapologetic flatulence. It wasn't just crude humor. It was revolutionary. This marked the first time that farting sounds were clearly and intentionally used for comedic effect in a major motion picture. Determined to make audiences both laugh and squirm, Brooks even turned up the volume on the sound effects, making sure the gassy outbursts couldn't be missed, even over roaring laughter. The result was comedy gold. More than just a joke, the scene poked fun at the overly sanitized version of the Old West often shown in films, replacing it with a messy, human reality. It shattered long-standing taboos and gave future filmmakers permission to explore humor in new, raw ways. Love it or hate it, that campfire scene didn't just make audiences laugh. It changed the rules of movie comedy forever. Let's talk about an unexpected twist that left the executives puzzled. Number 21. A mind-bending ending. The film wraps up with an unexpected and daring twist. The characters suddenly step out of their own storyline and find themselves on the set of a modern-day film production. It's as if they realize they've been part of a movie all along, breaking the fourth wall in a way that challenges everything viewers thought they understood. This bold, self-aware conclusion wasn't what studio executives expected. In fact, it left many of them confused and unsure how audiences would respond. But while the suits were puzzled, the viewers were thrilled. The twist added a fresh layer of depth, turning a regular story into a clever commentary on storytelling itself. Fans and critics praised the film for its creativity and risk-taking, saying the meta-ending forced them to rethink the entire movie from a new perspective. It wasn't just an ending, it was a mind game, a statement, and a surprise all rolled into one. This final act showed the filmmakers weren't afraid to play with reality, leaving a lasting impression and sparking debates long after the credits rolled. Have you wondered what the title means? Let's find out the meaning outside what you know. Number 20. Blazing Saddles. At first, Blazing Saddles might seem like just a fun, wild title for a cowboy spoof, bringing to mind horses, fast action, and fiery gunfights. But look closer, and the name carries a clever double meaning that truly reflects the movie's bold style. Blazing means bright, fast, and fierce, just like the film's fearless humor and quick pace. It dives headfirst into tough issues like racism and corruption, tackling them with outrageous, sharp comedy. Saddles connects to classic Western imagery, the cowboy life, open frontiers, and dusty trails. But instead of taking these seriously, the film flips the whole genre on its head, mocking old cliches with wild, unexpected twists. So the title is both a loving nod and a sharp parody, just like the movie itself, blazing with daring laughs and fresh ideas. Let's take a glance at the legacy and honor accorded to the movie, a reward for dedication and hard work. Number 19. Enduring legacy and cultural impact. Over the years, Blazing Saddles has solidified its place as one of the greatest comedy films ever made. Even decades after its release, it continues to make audiences laugh and think with its sharp humor and bold satire. In the year 2000, the American Film Institute honored Blazing Saddles by ranking it 6th on their prestigious list of the 100 funniest American movies, highlighting its timeless ability to entertain. But its influence goes far beyond just laughs. In 2006, the Library of Congress recognized the film's deep cultural and historical importance by choosing it for preservation in the National Film Registry. This rare honor means the movie is celebrated not only for its artistic brilliance, but also for the way it challenged social norms and addressed important issues with humor. Blazing Saddles remains a groundbreaking film that still inspires comedians, filmmakers, and audiences alike, proving that great comedy can be both entertaining and meaningful across generations. Let's dig into the details of a clever villain inspired by real Hollywood drama. Number 18. Hedley Lamar. The character of Hedley Lamar, the arrogant and scheming villain from Blazing Saddles, wasn't just a product of imagination. He was actually based on a real-life Hollywood executive who had a reputation for claiming credit where it wasn't deserved. This sly parody poked fun at the power-hungry figures behind the scenes in the film industry, making Lamar's pompous personality both funny and familiar to those in the know. The joke around the character Hedley Lamar sparked real-life controversy when Hedley Lamar sued the filmmakers for using a name too similar to hers. The case was settled, but Mel Brooks turned the drama into comedy with the recurring line, "It's Hedley, not Hetty." This witty addition not only diffused the tension, but became a hilarious running gag. The character brilliantly mixes satire, Hollywood politics, and humor, turning a legal hiccup into one of the film's most iconic moments. Let's dive into another weird fact about the movie that stems from an unwitting straight man, a character to behold. Number 17. Slim Pickins. Slim Pickins, a seasoned actor known for his roles in classic westerns, delivered one of his most memorable performances without ever cracking a joke himself. He played his part with total seriousness, fully immersed in the role as if he were in a dramatic cowboy film rather than a wild comedy. That's exactly what made him so funny. Pickins wasn't trying to be humorous. In fact, he didn't even realize he was in a comedy. And yet, his deadpan delivery and genuine reactions made the movie's outrageous moments even more hilarious. By staying true to his character and not playing for laughs, Pickins became the ideal straight man, the serious figure around whom all the craziness could swirl. His honest performance acted like a mirror, reflecting just how absurd everything else was. It's this sharp contrast between his sincerity and the surrounding madness that made the humor pop off the screen. Rather than stealing the spotlight, Pickins anchored the scene, giving viewers something real to hold on to while the chaos unfolded. Ironically, by not being in on the joke, Slim Pickins helped make the joke even better. Let's delve into another weird fact about Blazing Saddles, a brilliant satire that sends a serious signal. Number 16. A satirical masterpiece with a serious message. Blazing Saddles stands out as a bold and brilliant satire that uses humor to tackle serious issues like racism and prejudice. The film takes a daring approach by putting a black sheriff in charge of a town full of openly racist people. Blazing Saddles uses bold humor and satire to expose the absurdity of racism. Instead of avoiding sensitive issues, it tackles them directly with sharp wit and provocative language, not to offend, but to highlight the damage of bigotry. The film's outrageous comedy makes serious points about injustice, pushing viewers to confront uncomfortable truths. Its fearless approach has earned it lasting praise as a groundbreaking work that both entertains and educates. By blending laughter with a powerful message about tolerance and justice, the film remains impactful, reminding audiences of the importance of challenging prejudice in every era. Another weird fact about this movie is the wild musical twist that didn't make sense. Let's dig into the details. Number 15. A wild musical twist that made no sense. Just when you think the movie has reached its peak of craziness, it flips the script in the most unexpected way. A full-on musical explosion takes over the screen. Without warning, the unforgettable Dom DeLuise appears, dressed to the nines and diving headfirst into a performance so over-the-top it feels like a fever dream. He belts out tunes, dances with flair, and completely breaks the illusion of the story, speaking directly to the audience in a scene that's as chaotic as it is hilarious. It's the kind of moment that leaves viewers blinking in disbelief, asking themselves, wait, did that really just happen? And that's exactly what legendary director Mel Brooks wanted. Despite the studio's resistance, Brooks stood firm, determined to end the film on his own wild terms. The result? A finale so unexpected and ridiculous that it becomes unforgettable. By closing the movie with absurdity cranked up to 11, Brooks reminded us that comedy doesn't need to follow the rules. In fact, it's better when it doesn't. His fearless, rule-breaking style not only supercharged the film's manic energy, but also cemented it as a comedy classic that gleefully embraces the unexpected and dares you to keep up. One thing fans of Blazing Saddles will never forget is Gene Wilder's brilliant move. Let's delve into the details. Number 14. Playing it straight. Gene Wilder made a genius choice in how he brought the Waco Kid to life in Blazing Saddles. Instead of matching the loud, exaggerated energy of the film's chaotic world, Wilder went the opposite way. He played his character with calm, tired eyes and a soft, almost ghost-like presence. This wasn't just acting, it was strategy. By keeping his performance low-key, Wilder created a powerful contrast to the madness around him. That quiet, haunted tone made the Waco Kid feel like a man who had seen too much, adding unexpected layers to what could have been just a comic sidekick. His stillness, his pauses, his gentle sarcasm, they all made the outrageous moments funnier and the character unforgettable. In a film packed with slapstick and satire, Wilder didn't shout to be noticed. He whispered, and audiences listened. This unexpected approach made his performance stand out and become one of the most iconic in comedy film history. It's a perfect example of how sometimes the boldest move is to do less and let the world swirl around you. Wilder's Waco Kid is proof that understatement, when done right, can steal the whole show. Another thing many found weird about the movie was an explosion that almost ended in disaster. Let's go into the details. Number 13. A close call with explosives. While shooting a high-stakes scene that featured a dramatic explosion at a toll booth, the production team experienced a terrifying moment that could have ended in disaster. The explosion, meant to go off after the actors had cleared the area, was accidentally triggered too early, just seconds away from potentially injuring members of the cast and crew. A near miss on set caused panic as heart rates surged and crew members realized how close they'd come to disaster. Though no one was hurt, the incident exposed the risks of practical effects and the chaos behind intense action scenes. It became a symbol of the film's wild, unpredictable energy, where the line between fiction and real danger blurred. The event prompted a swift review and tightening of safety protocols. Yet, the memory lingered, a vivid reminder that in filmmaking, the most explosive moments aren't always part of the script, and even movie magic comes with real-life risks. What about the triumphant release of the movie? Let's dig into the details of this weird fact. Number 12. Blazing Saddles' triumphant release. Before Blazing Saddles became the huge hit we know today, it faced serious doubts inside Warner Brothers. The studio bosses were worried about the film's bold and controversial humor, unsure if audiences would accept it. When the movie was first shown in test screenings, the reactions were mixed and underwhelming, causing some executives to consider shelving it altogether. It seemed like the film might never reach the big screen in a big way. But then, something surprising happened. Warner Brothers decided to give Blazing Saddles a limited release in a few select cities, almost like a quiet experiment. To everyone's delight, the movie found an enthusiastic and eager audience who loved its sharp wit and fearless comedy. This strong local response convinced the studio to roll it out more widely. The gamble paid off spectacularly. Against a modest budget, Blazing Saddles went on to earn nearly $120 million, becoming one of Warner Brothers' most profitable films ever. What started as a risky project full of doubt transformed into a legendary comedy classic that broke new ground and left a lasting mark on film history. Another weird fact is that which surrounds the director of the movie, a comedy legend who had many faces. Let's dive into the details. Number 11. Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks is a comedy legend known for his ability to wear many hats, literally and figuratively. In some of his most iconic films, he didn't just direct or write, he also stepped in front of the camera to play wildly different characters. In Blazing Saddles, Mel Brooks played both a clueless governor and a Yiddish-speaking Native American chief, showcasing his fearless, satirical humor. He boldly mocked politics, authority, and even his own background, without crossing into mean-spiritedness. Brooks' talent for slipping into multiple roles highlighted his comedic genius and made his films feel wildly creative and unpredictable. His sharp balance of wit and irreverence set him apart, proving that comedy could be clever, critical, and daring all at once. Through bold characters and biting satire, Brooks turned his films into playful, thought-provoking carnivals of laughter and social commentary. Despite being a highly sought-after movie, failure was recorded when it was made into a series. Let's dive into the details. Number 10. A failed sitcom adaptation. In the world of television, not every idea that shines on the big screen manages to light up the small screen. Such was the case with the attempt to turn the film into a TV series titled Black Bart. The Black Bart TV adaptation aimed to recreate the charm and humor of the original film, but fell flat. Lacking originality, wit, and energy, the show struggled to connect with viewers. The pilot aired only once, failed to impress critics, and quickly faded into obscurity. With weak writing and no loyal fan base, the series couldn't capture the magic of the movie. Ultimately, it became a forgotten attempt to replicate a classic, proving that success doesn't always strike twice. Apart from the fact that the series didn't succeed, Blazing Saddles almost met a dead end at the studio. Let's see how and why. Number 9. A title that almost didn't make it. At first, the movie studio was not happy with the title Blazing Saddles. They thought the name sounded a little too wild, or even a bit inappropriate for their taste. The words felt risky, maybe too bold or shocking for a film they wanted to promote widely. Because of this, the studio wanted to change the title to something safer and less daring. They worried that audiences might misunderstand or be put off by the unusual name. But Mel Brooks, the film's creator and director, stood his ground. He felt very strongly that Blazing Saddles was the perfect title. To him, the name captured everything the movie was about: its sharp humor, its boldness, and its refusal to take itself seriously. The title was clever, funny, and a little cheeky, just like the film's spirit. Brooks believed that changing it would take away some of the movie's unique personality and edge. In the end, thanks to Brooks's insistence, the studio agreed to keep the original title. That decision helped the film stand out and become the unforgettable comedy classic we know today. Let's talk about the great contribution made by one of the key players of the movie. Number 8. Frankie Lanes' unwitting contribution. Frankie Lanes' role in the film's title song is a fascinating and unexpected part of its charm. Known for his powerful, heartfelt singing style, Lane approached the song with genuine seriousness, completely unaware that Blazing Saddles was actually a comedy and not a typical Western film. Frankie Lane believed he was performing a serious Western song, but his sincere, dramatic delivery clashed hilariously with the film's absurd comedy. This contrast made his performance even funnier, acting as the straight man in a parody-filled world. Lane's unintentional seriousness added a unique, memorable layer to the humor, proving that the best laughs sometimes come from those who don't realize they're in on the joke. His unexpected role became a key part of the film's lasting charm. Considering the success recorded by Blazing Saddles, some have asked if a similar film could be made today. Let's find out what the response is. Number 7. A film that couldn't be made today. Blazing Saddles, the classic comedy directed by Mel Brooks, is often praised for its bold, unfiltered humor and sharp satire. However, Brooks himself has acknowledged that making a film like this today would be nearly impossible. Blazing Saddles would likely face major backlash today due to its bold humor and unfiltered take on race, politics, and social issues. While it was groundbreaking in its time, its edgy, boundary-pushing style clashes with today's more sensitive, politically correct culture. What once made it a cult classic, its fearless tackling of taboo topics, would now hinder its approval, funding, or release. In today's entertainment world, stricter standards around sensitivity make such a film nearly impossible to produce. This reality highlights how much society's views on humor and acceptable speech have evolved over the decades. Let's delve into the humorous effect the film had on its watchers. Number 6. Laughter that couldn't be contained. The cast and crew found it incredibly hard to keep a serious face while filming. Time and again, bursts of laughter would break out unexpectedly, making it almost impossible for anyone to stay in character. The jokes and funny moments on set were so contagious that even the most focused actors and crew members couldn't help but laugh aloud. This unstoppable laughter often meant that scenes had to be filmed over and over again, as everyone tried to regain their composure. The joyful atmosphere on set showed just how powerful and infectious the film's humor was. No one could resist its charm. These behind-the-scenes moments of laughter revealed the genuine fun everyone was having, adding an extra layer of magic to the production. It wasn't just the audience who found the story hilarious. The people bringing it to life shared in that delight every day on set. This constant laughter made the whole filming experience memorable and filled the project with a special kind of energy that shines through on screen. Let's dig out another weird fact. Number 5. The Duke's seal of approval. John Wayne, famously known as the Duke, was invited to make a brief cameo appearance in the film. However, he politely turned down the offer, worried that even a small role might affect the strong, heroic image he had carefully built throughout his career. Despite this, Wayne spoke highly of the movie, praising its story and production. He made it clear that he respected the film deeply and promised he would be among the very first to watch it once it was released. This reaction from such a legendary figure showed just how widely appealing and significant the film was, crossing different audiences and earning admiration even from those who chose not to participate. His response added an unexpected layer of prestige to the movie, making fans and critics alike curious to see what had impressed the iconic actor so much. This moment, known as the Duke's seal of approval, became a testament to the film's power to connect with people, both on and off screen, hinting at the timeless qualities that would make it memorable. Weird enough was the fact that the film was not awarded an Oscar. What happened? How can this affect the movie? Let's find out. Number 4. Oscar snubs and lasting impact. Despite becoming a massive hit and winning the hearts of audiences around the world, the film shockingly received only 3 Academy Award nominations and didn't win a single one. To many, this felt like a major injustice, especially considering how beloved and culturally influential the movie had become. But years later, Mel Brooks, the genius behind the film, looked back at the so-called snub not with bitterness, but with humor and pride. He joked that while they didn't take home any golden statues, they gained something far more valuable: laughter that stood the test of time. For Brooks, the real reward was hearing people still laughing at the film, quoting its lines, and passing it down to younger generations. That kind of joy, he believed, was more powerful than any trophy. Awards can fade, he said, but the ability to make people laugh for decades is a true sign of greatness. In the end, the film didn't need an Oscar to prove its worth. It had already earned immortality in the hearts of its fans. Let's talk about a shocking scene that rocked the world. Number 3. The horse punch that shocked the world. One of the wildest and most unforgettable scenes in Blazing Saddles is when the massive, dim-witted character Mongo walks into town and, without warning, punches a horse square in the face, knocking it out cold. It's a jaw-dropping moment that leaves viewers stunned and laughing at the same time. Using a stunt horse, the scene boldly signaled that Blazing Saddles would defy convention, mock sacred Western tropes, and tackle taboo topics. Mel Brooks made it clear. This was a fearless, outrageous comedy, ready to rewrite satire's rules and leave audiences laughing at the unexpected. Did Blazing Saddles face any challenges with approval from the authorities? Let's dive into the details of his fight for creative freedom. Number 2. Battling the censors. When Mel Brooks set out to make his bold and edgy film, he quickly ran into resistance from censors who were uncomfortable with its daring humor and controversial themes. Many wanted him to tone things down, to soften the language and remove anything too provocative. But Brooks wouldn't budge. He firmly believed that trimming the script would strip the film of its truth, power, and purpose. For him, the raw language and fearless satire weren't just for laughs. They were essential to holding up a mirror to society's flaws. Instead of compromising, Brooks stood his ground, facing pressure head-on with passion and defiance. His unwavering commitment to authenticity paid off as the film retained its biting edge and powerful commentary. In the end, his refusal to censor the story helped the film stand out as a brave, unfiltered work of art that dared to say what others wouldn't. Let's take a look at one of the things that has set Blazing Saddles aside, despite struggling to make it work. Number 1. The first to feature audible farts. The iconic campfire scene in Blazing Saddles, where a group of cowboys hilariously falls victim to the explosive effects of too many beans, was a groundbreaking moment in film history. It was the first time that flatulence, yes, loud, unapologetic farting, was openly portrayed in a major movie, and audiences couldn't stop laughing. It shattered a long-standing cinematic taboo with unexpected boldness and unforgettable humor. Actor Burton Gilliam, who played the cowboy Lyle, later revealed in an interview with Collider just how tough it was to shoot the scene. "We filmed that thing over and over, maybe 35 times from every angle you can imagine," he said. "Honestly, it was closer to 100 takes. At first, we gave it our all, but after a while, unless you were superhuman, you started to lose it. Eventually, we had to pull in the extras to help keep the scene going off camera." What do you think about Blazing Saddles and the weird facts about it? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.